My dad suddenly got very sick and had to go to the hospital. I can't go on our honeymoon because I need to be with him. So my husband says I should go alone. I was really excited about our honeymoon, but now it's not happening. My husband thinks I should still go by myself. But who goes on a honeymoon alone? Then something unexpected happened. My father-in-law, who was supposed to be in the hospital, appeared in front of me. "Why are you here, father-in-law?" "My name is Sarah. I've been with Mark for 5 years, and he finally asked me to marry him this summer." Looking back, those 5 years felt like a long time. We started visiting Mark's parents' house about a year into our relationship, and he met my parents who live far away too. But he always said, "Let's wait until work is more settled," without making a definite plan to get married. Lately he even joked, "Why change anything?" This made me worried. "Mark, I'm turning 30 soon. If you're not going to be honest with me, we might need to end things." After I said that, Mark finally asked me to marry him. We were close to each other's families and had already talked about everything, from our wedding plans to our honeymoon destination. All that was left was to make those plans happen. We decided to have a small wedding with just our closest friends and family. The only thing left was our honeymoon. Mark planned to spend the day at his parents' house to spend time with them. I had dinner with my parents, who came from out of town, and then went home alone. I packed our bags for the honeymoon and sent Mark a text before bed. "Mark, you did great today. I'm all set for our honeymoon tomorrow. I'm really excited about going to Italy." But I didn't hear back from Mark. I figured he must have been really tired from the wedding and fell asleep. I hoped he wouldn't oversleep for our flight the next day. Feeling a bit worried, I eventually fell asleep. The next morning, I got a call from Mark. "Sarah, something really bad happened," Mark said quickly as soon as I answered the phone. "My dad collapsed and he's in the hospital. You'll have to go on our honeymoon alone today." "What? What do you mean?" I was shocked. "But your dad seemed fine at our wedding yesterday, didn't he?" "I'm just as surprised as you, Sarah. I need to stay with him, but you should still go on the honeymoon without me." "That's crazy. If your dad's sick, I can't just leave for our honeymoon." "Who goes on a honeymoon alone anyway?" I asked which hospital his dad was in, but Mark wouldn't tell me. "If I told you, you'd want to come visit, right?" "Of course I would. Dad knows how much you've been looking forward to going to Italy. He insisted I should still let you go. Please respect his wishes. I won't be able to enjoy myself with everything that's happening. Will you come join me once he's feeling better?" "Definitely, I'll be there as soon as things calm down here." "Don't say as soon as things are settled, it might jinx it. Please, let me handle things here and go to Italy as planned. I'm almost at the hospital, so I won't be able to answer your calls. Talk to you later." "Well, wait, Mark," I tried to say, but he hung up before I could get a word in. I called back right away, but his phone was off. I didn't even know which hospital he was heading to, so I couldn't rush to be with my father-in-law. Feeling helpless, the doorbell rang, startling me. When I opened the door, I was shocked. "Father-in-law?" There he was, standing at the door, supposed to be in the hospital after collapsing. "Are you okay? Your legs? They're working." I stammered, feeling like I was seeing a ghost. "What do you mean?" My father-in-law looked confused as I checked if he was really there. "Are you feeling all right?" "Oh, I had a bit too much to drink at the wedding yesterday, but I'm fine now. Sober as a judge this morning, and I drove here just fine after dropping Mark off." "After dropping Mark off?" "Yeah, you're going on your honeymoon, right? I dropped him off at the station, but then I realized I should have come to pick you up too. Let me take you to LaGuardia." I was really confused. My father-in-law, who was supposed to be in the hospital, dropped Mark off at the station. None of this made any sense. Then it hit me. My father-in-law mentioned LaGuardia, but we're supposed to fly from JFK to Italy, not LaGuardia Airport. "You said you'd take me to LaGuardia, but our honeymoon is in Italy." "Oh yes, that's what I thought too." I was surprised when Mark told me this morning that we changed our plans last minute and decided to go to Alaska instead. Alaska. The more I heard, the more confused I became. "Mark said we're going to Alaska." "Yeah, he did. He left a note in the car." My father-in-law showed me a post-it that Mark had left in the car. It had the name of an inn in Alaska and a flight from LaGuardia to Ted Stevens Anchorage International Airport written on it. When I saw it, everything started to make sense. "Can you take me to LaGuardia then?" "Of course. Traffic shouldn't be too bad. We'll probably get there around the same time as Mark's train. Thank you so much. On the way, I couldn't stop thinking about Mark's behavior. Whether my guess was right or not, I find out when I saw him at the airport. I thanked my father-in-law and went into the airport. Near the check-in counter for the Alaska flight, I saw Mark right away. He was with another woman, cozying up together and picking out drinks. My suspicions were confirmed. He had been cheating on me. Maybe it started while we were living together. His reluctance to get married might have been because of her. And now, not only was he having an affair, but he was also going on a trip with her on the day of our honeymoon. I stood boldly in front of him. Mark, holding drinks and about to leave the store, saw me and looked shocked. Sarah, what are you doing here? Same question to you. Why are you, who should have been at the hospital with your dad, here? I just came to buy some stuff. Stuff? Did you really come all the way to LaGuardia just to buy drinks? Yeah, Dad wanted some specific airport water. That's funny you say that because I was just with your father. Huh? Your dad came to pick me up in his car. He seemed perfectly fine, which was a big surprise. Oh right, after we talked, he suddenly felt better. He's always been resilient. Mark was sticking to his story. Amidst my shock, I couldn't help but think, what excuse will he come up with next? So who's this woman? Where were you two planning to go? Well, oh right, she's the nurse who looked after Dad. We're going to check out a rehab center for him in Alaska. Your excuses are painful to hear. I was speechless and sighed in disbelief. Enough. Your lies are giving me a headache. It's not a lie, she's really my dad's. Mark's words were interrupted by a voice from behind. My what? I turned around and saw my father-in-law standing there. I thought you went home, I said. I had a feeling something wasn't right, Sarah, so I parked the car and followed you. Looks like I was right. Seeing his dad there, Mark knew his lies weren't going to work. He looked nervous. My father-in-law asked sternly, "Who is this woman?" Well. Before Mark could say anything, the woman spoke up. I'm Amy, Mark's girlfriend. Mark quickly covered her mouth. What are you saying? You need to be honest, Mark. You don't love your wife. Just divorce her already, she said boldly. What? No, just be quiet, Mark exclaimed. Why should I listen to you? You promised to leave your wife for me. That's why you chose me over her today, right? Amy accused. That's because you threatened me. You said, if you don't come to Alaska with me today, I'll tell everyone about us. Mark defended himself. I see, so you were having an affair with her? I said coldly. Amy glared at me and snapped back. It's not an affair. Mark and I are serious about each other. He never wanted to marry you. At that point, I didn't even want to argue anymore. Fine, do whatever you want. Leaving Mark and Amy behind, my father-in-law and I left the airport. It was 5 days later when Mark came back home. The doorbell rang, and I talked to him through the intercom. Sarah, can you open the door? I can't unlock it. Oh, I changed the locks. You changed them? Why would you do that without telling me? I don't want someone I don't know having a spare key to our home. Someone I don't know? Are you talking about me? Who else would I be talking about? I got the divorce papers ready, so just sign them. Wait, let me in first. We can talk about this. I kept the door chain on and passed the divorce papers through the crack. There's nothing to talk about. Once you sign these papers, can you leave right away? Don't be so angry. I've decided to end things with Amy. Huh? What do you mean? She's awful. I only agreed to go to Alaska because she threatened to tell everyone about us. But the trip was terrible. She complained the whole time about the inn and the weather. I told her I won't divorce you. Please break up with me. I don't care if you break up with that girl or not. The only option for me is a divorce, even if you don't agree. Don't say that. Are you mad because we didn't go to Italy? It's too late now, but do you want to go? Are you serious? How can you even suggest that? I was wrong to think I could reason with you. A man who cancels our honeymoon to go on a trip with his mistress isn't reasonable. Sign the divorce papers now and also sign this. I handed him another document through the crack. What's this? He asked. It's a payment agreement for alimony and the cancellation fee for our honeymoon. I had a lawyer prepare it while you were away. I'm saying I don't want a divorce. You're the one who wants it, so why do I have to pay alimony? I want to try again. You can't ignore the consequences of cheating. Infidelity means alimony. and the decision to start over isn't yours, considering you cheated. What about this cancellation fee? We don't get a refund for canceling our trip last minute. Since you caused it, you should pay. I told you to go alone. Not going was your choice. How could I go alone on our honeymoon? And you lied about your dad being sick to cover up your affair. I couldn't go in that situation. I wanted to go to Italy with you, but Amy threatened me. You wouldn't want me to lose my job, would you? Amy threatened to expose you at work. Yeah, exactly. If she says she'll do something, she'll do it. It's all Amy's fault. Amy did give off a vibe of unpredictability. I mean, she even boldly declared herself as Mark's girlfriend directly to his wife. She must be quite bold. But strangely, I felt relieved. With someone like Amy in the picture, Mark's actions would eventually catch up with him, even without my interference. All I needed now was to get him to sign those divorce papers. Pretending to be concerned, I asked, "Hey, are you sure it's safe for you to be here?" "What do you mean? You ended things with Amy, right? Isn't she angry?" "Of course she's angry, but I'm done with her." "Well, maybe you're fine, but what about Amy? Knowing her, she might show up at your office and cause trouble." "True, that would be a disaster. I need to go to the office and handle this. Sarah, could you pass me my company key card?" "This one." I pulled out Mark's company key card and showed it to him. "Yeah, that's it." I quickly moved away from the door as Mark reached for the card through the gap. "I'll give you the key card if you sign the divorce papers and the payment agreement first." "But, have you made up your mind? You better decide quickly. Amy might get to your office before you." "All right." Mark reluctantly signed the documents and passed them through the door gap. "There, is that enough? Now give me the key card." I handed him the key card, and Mark hurried off to the office. I went to the courthouse to submit the divorce papers and gave the signed payment agreement to my lawyer. It was a relief to have the financial matters settled. The next day, Mark called me in a panic. "Hello? Sarah. What do you want? We're legally strangers now. There's nothing to talk about." "Wait, please don't hang up," Mark pleaded desperately. Curious about what happened, I decided to hear him out. "So what is it?" "I was called into a meeting by the board when I got to the office today. Everyone knows about my affair, even though I tried to get ahead of Amy. Isn't that strange?" "Oh, I told them." "You told the board?" "Yeah, I felt bad because they came to our wedding. But we divorced so quickly. Since you were busy with Amy, I thought I should explain why we split up." "Just the board? You told everyone at my office?" "Yeah. When I told them my husband chose a vacation with someone else over our honeymoon, they were shocked." "But how can I face everyone at work now?" "You don't have to hide anymore. Isn't that a good thing? Don't play games with me. You've ruined everything." "I should be saying that to you. I wish I could get back the 5 years I wasted on someone like you." When I spoke up, he fell silent. "Why don't you just be with Amy? If she cares about you so much, wouldn't she support you even if you quit your job?" "No, being with her only brings trouble. The only one who can support me is you, Sarah." "Well, being with you only brings me trouble. If you want support, maybe you should think about how your actions affect others." "Yeah, I regret it. So can we try again?" "No chance. Maybe it's time for you to reflect, start fresh, and try dating again. Oh, and maybe find a job first." "Sarah, please don't leave me. You're the one who betrayed me first. You'll have to live with your regret." I ended the call abruptly. After that, Mark went back to his parents' house a few times to borrow money. But my father-in-law, who was falsely made out to be seriously ill and used as an excuse for Mark's affair, was furious. Eventually, he cut ties with Mark. Mark started feeling uncomfortable at work and ended up quitting. Job hunting didn't go well, and now he's barely making ends meet by working part-time at a convenience store. On the other hand, I moved into a new home with the alimony from Mark. Even though I changed the locks, it still felt strange living in a place my ex-husband knew about. Mark's parents helped me move. Maybe they saw it as a way to make up for their son's mistakes. I still keep in touch with them and have meals together occasionally. I may not get back the 5 years I spent with Mark, but I'm determined to find someone better next time.